based on the fall of the naira against the dollar and the surge in the price of crude in the international market. All right. So to help us understand what exactly this is, if they're saying the government may spend this amount of money on petrol subsidy, what else, or what exactly did the what does that even mean, really? Is this something we should look forward to? We are already in September. September is about to end. Should we be expecting that perhaps this has been going on and we didn't know, or what? So joining me for this conversation, as I said earlier, is IPMAN's Dr. Joseph Obelle. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Good evening, Rivers people.
Good evening. So earlier you spoke on this, Dr. Obelle, and you said that following the consistent increment in the price of crude oil and rise in the rate of foreign exchange, it is obvious that the federal government has tactically intervened by closing the price gap in the landing cost of petrol and the selling pump price in Nigeria. Please, in very simple English, can you explain to us what you mean by tactically intervened?
Okay. On the 17th of August last month, the price of crude oil moved from $75 per barrel to $80 per barrel. And that actually affected the cost of production of these foreign refineries. Hence, Nigerian refineries are not functioning. So on that note, the importers did a memo to the federal government requesting an authorization for them to increase pump price from the 600 naira as it was 17th of last month to about 720 naira. And the federal government, through the special advisor to Mr. President, did a press conference that there is no going forward as it concerns increment. So, importers were stuck at that point, and then we preempted scarcity arising from the fact that importers are not charitable organizations to buy at 720 and sell to Nigerians at 600 naira. So, in 17th of August today, the price of AGO crude oil has moved from $80 per barrel to 85 to 90. Today is about 94.95. So a single increment to crude oil will affect the cost of production in this foreign refinery, and it will definitely reflect on our local buying rate. So the question is, how come there's increment in the foreign refinery, there's increment in the landing cost? Landing cost as of yesterday is about 780 naira per liter. Hence, Nigerians are still buying 600 naira per liter. So the argument came to an end yesterday when a member from Nigeria liquefied LNG Bonny and a member from NNPC went public to journalists, and he reflected in the memo from LNG that there's a payment of $250 million from LNG to NNPC, and the NNPC document for August ending reflected as such that payment was used, but they didn't call it fuel subsidy. They call it fuel intervention. And what is the definition of a subsidy? Subsidy is the monetary intervention done by government to ease or to maintain or to stabilize the price rate of a commodity. So if the government has tactically intervened, it should be true, because importers are still importing close to 780, and yet Nigerians are still buying at 600. So what has happened? So that memo that was released yesterday by LNG and NNPC ends the argument that through the backing there's a tactical intervention. They are proceeding to call it subsidy. Now they're calling it intervention.
So you're thinking that what ended was the phrase subsidy, or the word subsidy rather.
Subsidy? What is the difference between subsidy and intervention?
That's what I'm asking. You feel that what ended was the word, the usage?
They refuse to call it intervention. Subsidy, I mean, hence they say PMS intervention. So calling you a lady and calling you a woman, what's the difference?
Perhaps one is younger and the other one is older. I don't know.
That's the difference.
Maybe.
So
okay.
It's obvious that the subsidy at this point is for the benefit of Nigerians. Reason because if federal government did not intervene like they have done, Nigerians should be buying fuel. For today, should be close 910 naira per liter for today.
Okay. Let's go on a commercial break, Dr. Obelle. When we return, we'll continue the conversation, please.
Ha! Mama B, this your food dey restrict airflow. It dey totori me. The aroma just dey eat me from window.
My sister, how I no go cook better food with this kind thing where Risco do me? See, a Risco tomato paste don dey
before we get back to the conversation, let's take the headline news and then we will continue. Stay tuned, please.
Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Police assures that killers of our other DPO will be apprehended within 2 weeks. NSCDC busts illegal refining sites in Rivers State, seizes equipment. Minister of Transportation Ahmed Alkali not satisfied with work done on Port Harcourt Maiduguri Eastern Narrow Gauge Railway. ASU says it has not been informed of pay rise for lecturers. TUC threatens shutdown in Lagos State next Monday. In business, CBN confirms resignation of Godwin Emefiele as governor. In entertainment, comedian Alibaba speaks on pressure on aspiring artists to indulge in rituals for fame. In sports, Brighton's Julio, Australia's Sam among nominees for FIFA Puskás Award. On the foreign scene, Djibouti and Iran restore diplomatic ties. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. Remember to reach the news team. You can send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215.
And now, hard facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Okay, welcome back now. Dr. Obelle, you're still on the line. Thank you for staying put. Okay, so before we went on that break, you said something about the petrol subsidy. Government, okay, not petrol subsidy, but intervention from the government being of great help to Nigerians. You said it's a good thing for Nigerians, right? And so my question is, how come? All right, because I know I've heard you before now talk about how the subsidy thing in the first place was not even supposed to be so. You know, as an oil producing country, we should be able to handle things ourselves and not have to pay money to whoever or whatever to have the amount of money we buy petrol at, to be lower or anything. So I just want to understand how subsidy is good for the citizenry, and then the government feels, and not just the government, a lot of economists, even you, have said that the removal is also good. So who is it good for? Is it for the government or for the people?
The recent statistics released by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics shows that Nigeria inflation as at second quarter of this year is becoming worrisome, and for now, the price of every commodity in Nigeria revolves around this commodity called PMS. So further increment to PMS will bring more hardship on the people. And I told you that landing after last was close to 750. As at yesterday, when crude oil moved at $94 to $95 per barrel, the landing cost PMS should have been selling in Nigeria for 813 naira per liter. So if the federal government, refused to do the intervention as it is called, Nigeria to be buying for 800 naira per liter. So the reason why I said this recent subsidy or state intervention or tactical intervention, it is for the benefit of the Nigerian citizens. Reason because if they refuse to do so, Nigerians will buy fuel close to 900 naira per liter. But the $1 million question, what we should be thinking about right now is, should we, as the biggest OPEC member nation, be importing for the international refinery? What happened to our refineries? No one is asking questions. 2 years ago...
People are asking questions. When you say nobody's asking, people are asking.
Look, the question, let me tell you the question they're asking. When will you fix it? But what happened?
Okay,
and
what
I told
happened?
you in your studio last time that the shutting down of the refinery wasn't a technical error, mechanical error. It was a deliberate action to shut it down for exporting Nigerian crude oil to make more money. So what happened that you shut down a refinery over the years? Let me give you this. The first refinery in Nigeria has been shut down for 26 years. Kaduna refinery has been shut down for 19 years now. Warri refinery has been shut down for 4 years. The second refinery in Port Harcourt and later in 50. Yes, that's what we are saying. But who shut it down? Why did you shut it? No person is asking this question. So the point we are right now is, until they fix Nigerian refineries, and Mr. President has promised that by December, we will keep seeing this turbulence and this increment consistent increments in price of PMS in Nigeria because we are importing from the international market and external variables and happenings in the international market. If it comes negative, it will reflect negative as such. If it comes positive, it will reflect positive. Until we are refining locally, then we enjoy from comparative advantage analysis of the economy. Then Nigerians will buy fuel a bit less than 250 per liter. We've done the analysis. So it's quite unfortunate that we have to pass through this.
Yeah, so I want to find out now, because this is not the first time I've heard you, talk about having refineries that work in Nigeria. Okay.
Yes.
And then the government, it seems towards the end of every year, we hear that by the end of the year, the refineries will begin to work. And then by the end of the year, we don't see anything. And then another year comes in by the end of the next year. But I want to know, will the Dangote refinery suffice? Dr. Obelle, what do you think?
Yes.
Can we depend on the Dangote refinery? Because I hear that they would start production this October.
Dangote refinery in its inauguration, the opening ceremony speech, stated that its selling rate will reflect international rates. So the glory of Nigeria as a conventional oil and gas sector shouldn't be a private-owned refinery. So we have our own 4 own national refineries. So we should be discussing what concerns, and Dangote has made the first shipment from the international market importing crude oil. So if somebody is importing crude oil from the international market, he's trying to pass a message to Nigeria that please, my selling rate will reflect the international selling rate. So
that means the NNPCL should rather sit up and ensure that they're the ones supplying crude.
That should be our concern. That should be our concern. So what we should be saying right now is that the mandate of Mr. President or his brokers that Petrol refinery will be in commence operation by December 2023. This is the first of his kind. And Mr. President, the sitting president, he's saying every other time it has been his work, his ministers and the rest. And a week later, the former president Obelle just challenging to say this December will not be realistic. So that challenge posed by the former president was still a great advantage, because I can tell on good authority, I was there last week as part of my oversight function, and I can tell you that machines have been reinforced, workmen at the site have been reinforced, and with all indications, that December is realistic.
So, how come all this while the other Decembers were not realistic?
Because the mandate wasn't coming, the marching order wasn't coming from Mr. President.
Oh, really?
Yes, a marching order from Mr. President, I think, would be a wake-up call to whoever is concerned, the contractors, the management, and whoever. Because Mr. President said, Stakeholder refinery, and his word should be his bond as a nation. So the GMD of refinery will be up and running here and there, the contractor, technical and the rest of them. I think I can tell you that the workforce has been reinforced, and the December is realistic.
Okay.
Progress of the job so far.
All right. Well, let's get to the phone lines. And the question I'm asking is quite simple. Should government return petrol subsidy? They removed it. Should they bring it back? Bring back our girls. Bring back our petrol subsidy. That's the question. Should that happen? If yes, why? Why do you think so? And if you say no, how come? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0002. And 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0007. For your WhatsApp messages, send them to 0809-030-6416. And yes, we are live on Facebook. Get there and join the conversation as well. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And on X, it's Nigeria Info PH. Call M Buddy. Is that what your name is? Well, that's someone I see here on Facebook. And he's asking, can they bring it back? This government are what? Scalar quantities. Only people above 70 is ruling a country. What do you expect? Well, Gira Evans says, make them bring petrol subsidy. All right, thank you very much. Well, let's get to the phone lines now. We have Good Luck. Good Luck is calling from Andoni. Hi, Good Luck. Welcome.
I'm still on the line.
Good luck. Good evening. You're on the line now. Go on.
Okay, evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. When the subsidy removal was announced, that according to our present president, he wasn't the one who did it, it was his predecessor. I was in support, believing that will encourage the government to fix up refineries. But it is clear that there are people who never want some subsidy to go. For that reason, they do whatever they think they can do to put us in the situation we are. So for the interest of the masses, I support that the subsidy should come 1 trillion as announced. But the government should not relent its effort in seeing that Port Harcourt refinery will work optimally according to what they say by December. So that at the end of it all, those who are looting our money through this so-called subsidy will be put to shame, let's say by January next year.
Okay.
That is my take.
Thank you. Good luck. Good evening, Madam Muriel from Okrika.
Thank you, Constance. Good evening.
Welcome aboard.
You see, Constance, I say the federal government has no other choice other than to bring back subsidy. Look, Constance, I gave an instance. I said if a mother cannot cook in a kitchen, she has utensils and she has foodstuffs, and she cannot cook in a kitchen for her children, then she resorted to buying fast food. She should keep buying the fast food. You don't have any other choice. Your children must eat. So, and I think even the Dangote refinery, we shouldn't even be talking about it. We shouldn't even celebrate it. Nigeria shouldn't have even been involved in the inauguration in the first place, because that's just the business of a private individual who saw that to make profit, and he intentionally wants to import crude. While we have enough, we have sufficient, we are even exporting, he wants to import so that he can fix the prices at his own disposal, how he wants. He doesn't even have any time for it. He doesn't have concern for us. Constance, my question is why the federal government is not doing policies to ensure that our naira bounce back? Because it seems the rate at which you buy fuel is dependent on the value of our naira. So why can't they do things? They keep making policies that devalue our naira from one stage to another. It keeps deteriorating. Do they not know what to do to make our naira bounces back? And we begin to buy. And I want to ask the guest if he's there. First, they said they have some of their independent marketers that are importing themselves. So now that the government is now stylishly subsidizing, are they still importing, or are they now all buying from NNPC? Since government is subsidizing and everybody has to buy from NNPC, so are they still importing, or they're all suspending importation and now dependent on NNPC? Thank you, Constance.
All right, thank you, Muriel. Dr. Obelle, do you have a response or reply to that?
Yes, I think 2 months ago, the Eastern Council Regulation Agency authorized 3 marketers to break the long-term monopoly of NNPC as a concerns importation. And the 3 marketers, or the 3 importers, the first cargo arrived, and the importers made a very big loss. Hence, none of the other 3 has imported it today. Reason because they were really requesting for a reasonable, a favorable exchange rate to be able to getting dollars at the rate of 800, 900 at the cheap in the black market. No importers can embark on that adventure. It's definitely be a loss. So the sector is not profitable as it concerns the cost or the rate of foreign exchange.
Interesting. Well, let's get to these other calls here. Emeka is calling from Owerri. Hello, Emeka.
My sister, good evening.
Good evening.
From Owerri. See, when you hurriedly do something, take the wrongest step, you will still reverse that gear back. The only problem there will be that you spend a lot of time. You see this reversal of subsidy or whatever you call it, whatever baptism you gave to it, I expected it because the government of the day did not plan for this. This is the step they took on May 9th. You understand? I don't know why you will wake up. You hurriedly, even our economy, our Nigerian economy is in a bad shape. The last government left Nigeria economy in a very, we say, we had alluded to some time ago that what happened in that administration will not happen under his administration. In other words, you know that there are a lot of wrongs took place in his administration. You just came in, you hurriedly just removed subsidy. Subsidy is removed. Now it's coming from back home. My question is this so-called money that they add on this is a cost subsidy. Whose pocket? Because the government of Nigeria has not told us where this money is going to. Who is the individual that is collecting this money from government in the name of subsidy? Who is the person? Because this is one of the arguments of the Labour Congress. Who is this individual that has been collecting this subsidy since 1999 today we are talking? Who are those people? Can they be named? You understand? So when one of the presidents told us it's organized crime, I want to agree with him because tell us who are these people. Where is this money? How much are they collecting? How much is the land cost of fuel before now? You understand? So next time when government wants to take any particular policy decision, you need to sit down with experts and professionals on that field. Think less, consider front, consider back. Before you come up with your policy, don't just wake up when something is moved. Look at what is going on now. You understand? So government is going to plan well before you carry out any policy against the people of the nation.
Thank you, Emeka. Hello, Mr. Okay from Igruta. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, my sister Constance.
You're welcome. Go on, please.
Please. Yes, please. We cannot wait for federal government for this refinery and die. They are just working again because of this fuel. Let them bring back our subsidy. Let it be a thing that they used to support us. Please, we don't want all this palliative again. Bring subsidy. Help us. We be buying fuel. Even if it's 300 naira. We can manage that and wait for the other refinery to work. Please, it's hard or not too much. Please, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Okay, Mr. Dr. Obelle. So, for the people who believe that the removal of the petrol subsidy was too fast, that you should have done it gradually. Do you think the removal happened too quickly? Remember, years ago, I think that was 2012 or so, there was some kind of protest against the whole subsidy thing. So if from that time till now, it's this year that we're stopping it, was it too sudden, really?
I think the sneaking or the resurfacing nature of subsidy has vindicated some of what the marketers that were really saying the timing was key timing and was not really necessary at that moment. Because stakeholders were saying that Mr. President, first day in office, was supposed to call for a roundtable meeting to discuss all that concerns the subsidy, the merits and demerits before the announcement. So when you fail to do the needful, I think the needful waits for you at a later. That's what we are seeing today. And I think we've not seen the worst yet, because following the aggressive nature of the Russian invasion on Ukraine, we will hope to see more increment on the price of crude oil. And OPEC are not member nations to cut production. So the implication of cutting production is adversely reflects on the high cost of crude oil. And Nigeria, we are a consuming nation. There's nothing we are exporting. So the dollar will always be, naira will always be against the dollar. So I think as a concept and gas and price of this commodity, it will likely hit 1,000 very soon. But even if it hits 1,000, still there is some kind of intervention. Nigerians will keep buying food at the rate it is today, because it will cost a lot of tension if further increment is done on this very commodity. Hence, we'll keep buying at this and it's bringing it further back on the federal government. It will be a further national burden on the federal government.
All right. This message here says, good evening. Please, when did the president promise Nigerians that the refinery will start working by December? I still have not heard it from his mouth. SF Smart from Agri Estate, Port Harcourt. Well, when the minister, what's his name now? Temipre Silva, this is the new administration. The man says he has not heard it from the president's mouth. So if the minister is the one speaking, he's not going to accept it until it's coming from the president.
No, it was actually announced by Mr. President. was actually announced, arising from the threat of Nigerian Labour Congress, and there was a meeting presided over by Mr. President. He said December. No person said so. He said so himself.
Okay. So by December, let's see what happens. You have already said that he gave a marching order, that what has delayed all these years is because there was no marching order from the president himself or the presidents back then. And that's what has kept us where we are today. All right. Just to remind you here, I'm still asking you to tell me, should the government return subsidy of petrol? On May 29th of this year, when the new administration of President Bola Tinubu took over, when the president was sworn in, after he was sworn in, giving his speech, he announced a petrol subsidy is over. It says it doesn't even exist in the 2023 budget. And so we should just know that that is not happening again. And then the price of petrol surged. And right now, oil marketers are telling us that with the level of the price of the landing cost of petrol, premium motor spirit, we should be buying petrol for like 900 naira per liter and above, but we're still buying it at 600 naira. Oh, or even less. Some people are selling at 500 and something naira, 90 something or so. And so they believe that definitely the government has been intervening, and it's a good thing for Nigerians. Good evening, all. If the dollar price keeps rising, it's obvious the price of crude oil in naira would keep rising. And Dangote Refinery is said to be importing crude. Please ask Dr. Obelle, would the price of petrol in Nigeria be based on that barrel price? Michael from Okrika. So, Dr. Obelle, so someone wants to know, all right, if the price of oil in Nigeria, the petrol that we buy, if it's also going to be against the backdrop of how much it is sold at international markets because of the rise in the price of dollar.
No, the issue is that as it concerns us as a nation, importing from our biggest market of seller is in Netherlands as a country, and that's why we've been buying from over the years. And some of us, the advocates of the sector, they have been saying the cost of Netherlands is expensive in other countries where you can buy them cheap, but the choice of NNPC, why they have standard, which is in Netherlands, I'm yet to really know. So this is market, so we'll do analysis based on where we are buying from, and they have been servicing us for the past 12 years. So the cost of production of these foreign oil refineries reflect our landing cost, and the cost of the landing cost reflect our buying rate. So at last week, landing cost was close 800. Nigerians are still buying 600, and there is a differential or a gap of 219 or 217. So we are saying NNPC, as it has been launched on the 19th of July last year by the outgoing president, implies that it's now a public-owned entity. It's now called NNPC Limited. It's now a fully commercialized entity. This means it's not a charitable organization. It's not further funded by the federal government. So if they have done this stuff, close 800, and selling to you close 600, it's a common sense. It's not rocket science for you to say what is happening. So the indication is there is a tactical intervention. And I told you, it's unlike you can Google it right now as a journalist. You see, there's a memo released by LNG and NNPC. The interfacing or collaboration of these two memos show that something left LNG to NNPC, and NNPC collaborated with that, saying we use this for PMS intervention.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Obelle Ngechu. Thank you for being on.
Because I've done a medicine about 5 years ago. My name is Obelle Joseph.
Obelle Joseph. Oh my God, that's what I have on my script.
I've done a medicine 5 years ago.
All right, apologies. Thank you.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info.